I'm back with another installment of Something Old, Something New, Something Borrowed, and Something Blank. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I've got an old die that I'm going to use, and I've got something new that was inspired by a gorgeous card that I received in the mail for my birthday. This card was by a YouTuber who goes under the name of Studio Kato. I will be sure to link to her video so you can see how she made this gorgeous card. And I went and stopped, dropped, bought the products she used, picked some different colors, and that is going to be my borrowed. For the something blank, I guess it would be something booped or bloomed, or you know what, let's work it out as we work through the card. So to see it all come together, stick around. That video is coming up next. So here's a look at how we're going to lay out the supplies. We have something old. This is a Miss You die. I'm not sure what year I designed this in, but I've had it for a while and I have not used it. It's word and shadow die together. Something new is the Whimsy motif from our Motif from Altenew. I got a card. This is the borrowed, okay? Got this beautiful card from Studio Kato or Kato, and I will definitely link her video in the description because this card came for my birthday. I had to go see if she had a video. She did. I saw the product and I had to order it. So I ordered this from Altenew, and the other new thing is the Whimsy Motif layering stencils, which are going to help me add color. And for the something blank, I'm going to say something booped because she's got sequins on hers. I'm going to have something shiny on mine. So those are the basics. I guess what I need to do is start with embossing. So I'm starting out with a piece of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110. This is about 5 inches square, and I'm going to mist it. Now I don't do this very often. I have this new mister from Spellbinders, been wanting to try it, and so here goes nothing. I'm gonna go mist and just kind of pick that up. Dampen it down a little. I don't want my paper to bend too much, but I feel like, here we go, a little misty. It sounds lovely when it's happening, okay? So we've got our mist here, and I'm going to show you something that I finally figured out for my Impress die cut machine. Now this is for the Altenew folders, the Altenew 3D folders. So what we're gonna do, take out our paper. It's been nicely dampened. And it's not soaking wet. It's just, I guess this could have gone into the something new as well. I've had it for quite a while and I just haven't used it. So we're going to place this into our folder, close it so that it encompasses the whole thing. And then I'm just going to pop it right here on the edge with the magnetic mat and a clear plate. And then we're going to run it through. Hit run, feed it in. And this is giving me, I think, the right amount of pressure with my Impress machine. So let's take a look at how it looks. All right, let's take a look. Now, that is pretty beautiful. Look at that. That turned out great. So now I think what I'll do is just let this sit for a few minutes to make sure it gets totally dry. And then we're going to get set up. Well, I guess I could pull some inks while I'm waiting for that to dry. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll move on. I trimmed this down a little bit for my ink blend, and I think I'm going to trim it a little more. But I wanted to show you, inside the Altenew packaging, it explains how to use it. And of course, I don't have these inks from Altenew, although I am going to be getting some hopefully soon to try them out, but it kind of gives you the whole vibe of how you're going to do this. So what I thought I would do today is I am going to do a purple bloom with sort of this cool muted green for my greenery. Well, that's what I'm thinking. So I think, I can't decide. Do I want to start out with my lighter color? Probably. I mean, I'm just going to keep a look on this, and I think this will help me to figure it out. So we're going to start with the lilac, and I think where do I want my pad to be? Closer to me. I'm going to grab this grip mat. Of course, the reason I'm using my grip mat today is this is going to hold my paper and keep it nice and attached to the surface. And then all I need to do is grab my stencil. This is Stencil 1, and I just need to line it up over the areas that I'm going to be ink blending on. And that is pretty cool. So now this will hold all of this in place while I blend. Oh, I think that's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna get a brush. I'm gonna prime this a little to get off whatever was on there before. And I guess what I'm gonna do is just, you know, get my little lilac going and bring some of this in. Now, if I'm looking at, I guess I can bring it, I guess we'll just start out with a little light on each one. And I don't want to push too hard because of the puffiness, right, of the embossing folder, although I could put it back in the embossing folder. I don't usually do that though. Bring this around so we have a little lightness, okay? A little lightness in there. And this is Lilac from Simon Says Stamp. Kind of come around and around and around. Now, pick this up and let's go into Orchid. Never know which way I'm going. And I'm going to tap a little off, and I'm going to bring this to be probably a little darker on this side, okay? Like that. And I'm just tapping off so it doesn't come in too hot and heavy. Like that. Still want to keep some of that light in there. Okay. There we go. And I think I'm going to grab my small brush for the third color, which is the Amethyst. And I think I'll just load this up, tap it in, and we're just going to come right here at the very base. Oh. Maybe a little there. I'm just kind of blend over a bit like that. All right, that is layer 1. That is all I'm going to do. But I think while I'm here, I will clean my stencils in between because I don't want to get them too messy. I have some rubbing alcohol, and you just pick it up like this. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. Again, this is going to be interesting to see how it comes together. But I'm just going to cover this a little bit and spray on. And this will clean off everything really nicely. Okay. Sometimes the purples can be a little stainy, so I kind of try to do this right after, but a little staining is not going to really hurt anything. All right. And again, just pressing you down. And I don't think I have to worry too much about this up here, but maybe a little. So I may just cover that just so that I don't go over something that I don't want to. And I'm going to just brush this darker color off because I do want to come back in. Boy, I'm changing pads so fast I don't even know if I need to have my inkstand set up. We're just going to come in like that. Bring in the lighter color. Kind of makes a crinkling sound where I'm pressing down into the puffed up parts of the paper. All right, I'll just bring you this way. Yeah, I'm very glad I put that tape there. I would have gone right over it. Okay. Right in there. Like that. And let's get our darker color. And just warm it up out there. It's dark, but it also, I feel like it has a warmth to it. I'll just blend that out a bit because that's looking a little wonky. There we go. All right, now let's lift up this layer. Like that. Ooh, it's starting to really come together. All right, and now I will clean this one off as well. And we're going to bring in our third one. Let's make sure we're looking at the right side. And this comes in here. So we have our last little bits of purple that we are going to fill in. It's pretty easy to line up because, you know, you have that bit of dimension, right, that it's kind of puffing through. But here, again, I'm just going to come on this, try to keep it light from whatever was on the brush. If I feel I need to get more, I can, but I feel like there was already enough on the brush from, which one? From the Orchid. All right. So then I'll bring in the Orchid. Get that darker there. And bring in the final color of the purples, which is the Amethyst. Really deepen that up right there. And these are going to dry back so nicely. They're going to smooth out. It'll all look really pretty. Yeah, that's going to be great. Look at those flowers. Oh my gosh. All right, I'll get this cleaned up and then we'll move on to the greens. So I'm moving on to my green, but I really want to wipe down my green brush just to make sure I get all of the, whatever the green was on here off, because this green here, this is a much more muted green. And what I think I'd like to do is put one layer of this all over the whole thing, okay, like that. One little layer. It's very soft. It's a very pretty color. I might not even need more, actually. I might not need an extra color. It might be just enough, but I had an idea, and I will have to get a smaller brush for this. Okay, and then let me grab a smaller brush for the sage. And by smaller, I mean one of these Waffle Flower Shader 1 brushes, because I don't really want to have to put, here, I'm just going to swoop it in from the bottom on each one. I want to have a little shading, but not much. And I think this is the best way I'm going to get it, to have it come up from the base. That way, and I can kind of sweep over it. You can kind of isolate it better, you know. And we'll just get some in here. I want to have these ones be a little darker right in here and here. And I think think that's it. All right, let's see what our final image looks like. Lift this up, and that is just gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, all right, we're gonna peel it up, and I am going to set this aside and just let all that beautiful ink. Oh wait, there's one more piece. Hold on, we got one more piece. I just realized I have the little stamens, so let me get those on. For the little stamens, or whatever they're called, I'm gonna use Simon Says Stamp Butter. And I gotta swirl that around a little. I haven't used this brush. So this is one, actually this is a two-sider. Okay, and we're just gonna add this nice warm color on like that. It's gonna give us a little pop of color that I think will be kind of cute. All right. And there we have a little color on those. All right, now I'll let that dry. I'm gonna trim this down a little bit because I want this to be 4 inches. So I'm gonna take a little off this side. And I'm gonna take a little off the top. So right now we have, I'm going to flip it. Well, actually, let's see. I want this to be 5 1/4. Or do I want to go, yeah, 5 1/4. I might have cut it too short. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go 5 inches. Make sure it's 5 on this side too. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then we're going to have it be 3 3/4. So I want to keep all the blooms intact and just get as close to the edge as I can. That's pretty close. And one more here, 3 3/4. There we go. That's the panel that I want for my card. So I'll set that aside. I am going to try something because I know that her card has some shimmery elements on it. And I did not know, and now I do, that you can actually paint with aqua pigment. And so I thought it would be fun to see what would happen if I swirled my brush, right? Get it in here nicely. And then just come in here on these parts to add a little golden shine with a paintbrush. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just coming in. Oh, that does look better. That looks better already. Look at me. I feel very crafty right now. Okay, like that. Ooh, now that just gives a little shine into what I just did. But I don't think, gosh, do I want to paint on the stems? I don't think I should, but I could try it because she painted on our stems, right? And what if I did? What if I did do that? Oh boy. I wish I had a smaller paintbrush. I don't, but let's see what happens. I'm sure it will get a connection more, so let's just go like that. Well, that's not bad. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Look at me. Okay, okay. You know what? It's very light. And it's very easy to lay this down. And really, I mean, it's just going to give it, you know, a little connection to the stems. Kind of like that. Just kind of bringing it alive a little bit. I'm going very, very lightly on here. And really, I mean, that's about it. Now, I can go up, like she did, into the leaves a little, if I wanted to. Like that. Oh, there's one. It's got to go on that a little more. Okay, just a little to have a little more shine. It's kind of fun. This is very crafty. And I can kind of see where I wasn't completely lined up with the stencil. But I think that's okay because it's adding a lot. Wow, okay. You. Little there, and go right in there, there. I got a little much, but let's keep going. Got a little on the paper there that maybe I didn't want, and that's okay, because it'll just kind of come off as shiny. I have all the leaves, and it really does sort of tie it together a little bit more. And now what I might do, I might just do a little spatter on here as well. So let me get my splat box out. I don't really like to do this unless I've got a back to protect my monitor. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to do it this way because my monitor's just, I don't know, it's just big. So let's just put a few on top and bottom like that. What do we think? Oh my goodness gracious. I think that is just beautiful. Look at me. Oh, I can't even breathe. All right, now I'm gonna let this dry and I'll get my greeting ready. Off camera, I went ahead and I die cut the words "Miss You." The top layer is matte gold cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and then I glued it to 2 more layers of the die cut using my Connect glue from Gina K, and that just gives it a little dimension. I am not going to use the shadow layer today because I just don't feel like it. And then, oh, don't lose the tittles. Okay, I just literally, there we go. Sometimes I'll put them in here so I don't lose them, even though I swear to you, I think I just lost. One of them is stuck to my finger and one of them has disappeared. So I'm going to find that one before we get to the gluing part. Huh, that's so weird. There's only 2. We're not going to, oh, there it is. Okay, so let's set these aside for now. I've already gone ahead and put on some Altenew foam tape. I wanted to have 4 strips just to really keep it nice and even. And now let me make my note card. And I'm going to use white cardstock for my note card base. This is the Neenah 110 as well, the Solar White and Classic Crest. And we're going to score it right at 5.5 for a top folding USA 2 note card, which is 4 1/4 wide by 5.5 tall. And I'll take my Teflon bone folder, just give that a good press, like that. Now, I will tape this closed because I don't want it to pop open while I'm working on it. So we'll get you in here and press you down. Now, let's take the back. See, look how pretty that is with the little margin. Oh, I do love it. I think it's gorgeous. Now, do I think the original card that was sent to me might be prettier? Yeah, I kind of do. Maybe it's because it was sent to me. I don't know. I loved it so much, though. It literally made me say, stop, drop, shop. You know, I get a lot of product sent to me from the companies that I create card samples for, and I'm always grateful for them, but I do shop too. So, all right. I'm going to stand up here, look straight down, excuse my head if it gets in the way, and we will pop this nice little panel right down onto the note card. So now we have this little pop-up and this nice edge. Now I think what I'll do, let's get the little friends here. I think all I want to do is just have Miss You be over on this flower, and I think I'm going to line up as they are on the actual die itself. Like if I use the shadow layer, it does look like this. I just don't really want to cover up anything. I could do the vellum layer. Oh gosh, maybe I should just see what it looks like. But the thing is, if I do it in the vellum, then I'm going to have to figure out more things. And I actually think that this is really pretty just as is. So let's start with the miss. And I'm going to grab my tweezers here. And I'm just going to add a liquid glue to the back, like this. I'm going to bring out my ruler too, just to make sure I get it straight. And I'm going to go, well, now I'm going to have to touch it like this. I didn't want to have that there. We're going to go right here. Okay. I'm going to let go for just a second. And then I'm going to get this straightened because right now that doesn't feel super straight to me. But that's why we come in here and we go like this. Okay. We can hold this against the edge. It has a lip on both sides and make sure that everything is pressed down. And then while I'm here, I can take a little glue right there. And we're going to build up the tittle that way. It's just a lot easier to put one little piece at a time like that. Another one on top. Make sure it's die cut edge down. You can tell. There we go. Pop that there. And little glue there. And the gold layer. Oh, come here. The gold, you're moving and shaking. Come here, gold layer. There we go. The gold layer goes right there. So that way you get your eye. And now that that's sitting there nicely, I can put my heavy glass block on and go ahead and add my glue to the second word. Take this off and I'm just going to line it up with the serif edge right underneath, right there. So there's very little gap, and that way they're very close together like that. I can straighten that a little, make sure the spacing is about the same. Yeah, that looks good. And let that adhere. All right, that looks great. And I grabbed some this curls for confetti, gold beads. Sometimes I dump them out because I want to be able to find the really little ones. I love the really little ones. And I want to have little tiny tinies on my card because I've got to have something booped on here. I'm going to take maybe this one here. I don't know. I don't want it to compete with the tittle. So I don't want that to be too close. Does that make sense? If I put that a little too close, maybe I'll go here. Then I can take another smaller one and maybe come up here. Yes, and one little more up here. I'm not sure yet if this is going to be my arrangement. It might be. Flip over there. Oh, there you go. Let's see. Or do I want it to be up a little higher like that? You know, just something really simple. Kind of coming up like that. I think I'm going to do it because I think it looks good. And we're going to finish out this card. All right, so we've got 2 up here, 2 down here. I'm still sorting this one out. Or do I want to have one right there in the middle? I don't know if I want to interrupt the bloom or have it on the bloom. Or maybe just 2 and 2, which I don't usually do unless I go, my 5 is like that. You know what? I don't like stuff in the middle just floating randomly. All right, here we go. We're gonna boop it up. So liquid glue and boop. 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 Coming down. Boop. And the last one here. Boop. And that is our finished card project. All right, so in review, we have something old, which is my Miss You word and shadow die, although I opted out of that. Something new is the embossing folder and coordinated stencil. The something borrowed is this beautiful birthday card that I got from Leanne. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And I actually still think hers is just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I think it's just, yeah. And the fact that she did this little extra piece down here at the bottom, like, and cut this shorter, That is like a really cool design detail. And again, I will link her video below so that you can check out how she put this gorgeous card together. And of course, something booped. We added a few things. So hope this inspires you to think about the old things you have, the new things you have, where you can find inspiration to borrow, and then something blank for your next card project. You can find a link to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a full list over on my blog as well, and you can go over there and see all of the products. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more in my Something Old series, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.